Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Eddy Live! All right. What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 249. I am here with the Tianmu legend, Faye Angevine. How are you?
That will be the day. I'm fine. Thanks, Eddy.
Man, you've been in Tianmu for quite a while. You've been in Taiwan for quite a while.
Taiwan forever, it seems.
It seems like it, right? Yeah.
50 years, almost 50 years.
Yeah, well, that's
One of those
amazing. So why don't you
old-timers.
tell me about 50 years? What 50 years ago? What brought you here? Well, we start with that.
Law.
Law. Okay.
I came here to study Chinese comparative law, a comparative law program out of Taidao University.
Okay.
And then I worked for law firms, translating and translating contracts, agreements, teaching legal English. But at the
Okay.
same time, started becoming interested in Taiwanese antiques.
Okay.
Just wandering the streets, and at that time there was one showroom,
Yeah.
only one actually. And so I'd wander into that showroom. It was owned by an American who ran Bank of America, actually. He was
Really?
the director of Bank of America,
That's amazing.
Chuck Bushnell. And he opened a showroom called Unicorn.
Okay.
And so actually that was my first experience with Taiwanese antiques.
Okay.
And then just grew from there, the love of antiques.
And obviously you have a massive collection now, right?
Too massive.
Okay.
It's time for people to come and choose some pieces.
Okay. Well, yeah. Tell me a little bit about the place, right? I mean, 50 years ago you came out Taiwan for law, but out of all the places in the world, you came to Taiwan for law.
I chose Taiwan. Actually, I came from UCLA. I was studying at UCLA comparative law program, and chose Taiwan because for some reason I was very interested in Chinese history, Chinese people. I had traveled fairly extensively when I was younger. I worked for Club Med. You know, I was one of those GOs.
Club Med? Oh my gosh.
I left the States when I was fairly young. I was 17.
Okay.
And I, because I was a February baby at that time we only had 2 semesters a year.
Okay.
I went
okay.
a half a semester, a half a year to a junior college after I graduated from high school because I was the youngest person of my class being born in February.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense, huh? So my parents had a choice. They either keep me behind or put me ahead. They put me ahead.
Okay.
So, and I was also a ski instructor. I wasn't a ski instructor. I was National Ski Patrol. So when I was going to high school, I would take off over the weekend to go skiing.
Okay, wow.
And that's where I met my French family. My French sister is still living. She's 91 now. Marie-Lou Boiry from... she lives in Chamonix.
Okay.
And there were 5 of them, and I became like their little sister. And when they left the States, they were there on a 1-year exchange or a program teaching skiing at Badger Pass, Yosemite.
Okay. Wow, okay.
And so when they left the States to go back to France, my sister said, Faye, that was my name in French. She said, you come to Club Med. I bring you to Club Med. You teach Club Med. So I said, okay, Lulu, I'll do that.
Okay.
So I went
Club
1
Med
year
in
to
France.
junior college.
So
yeah.
Club Med in France.
Club Med is all over, or
I
was all
know,
over
but
Europe.
the one you went to, I know it's everywhere, right?
Well, their headquarters is in France, but actually my
know
first
that.
year I worked in Saint-Moritz, Switzerland.
Oh, wow.
Taught at Saint-Moritz in town. I was a jardinière, what they call a jardinière,
Okay.
teaching beginner skiers. And great experience, I have to say, great experience.
The funny thing was, I was actually looking at Club Med and I didn't do it. I ended up coming to Taiwan instead. But yeah, I mean, it's been good. It's been good for me. But yeah, that's funny. That's a funny.
Actually, you could have.
Club
Club Med had many villages in Mexico and
Really,
throughout,
yeah?
well, a few in the States, not too many in the States.
Yeah.
Primarily Europe,
They're still rocking
North
the Club
Africa,
Meds, right?
Morocco. I
Yeah?
mean, I spent a year in Morocco.
Really?
Yeah,
man, that sounds
Alosema.
great.
I learned how to belly dance, and you know, most of the belly dancers are actually males in the villages, not
Really?
females. They're not those sexy females.
Okay.
They come out of Casablanca.
So does the man have to have a big belly to do the dance
No,
properly?
he doesn't
or-
have to. And they wore
No?
clothes. I mean, they were fully
no.
dressed, and you
Okay.
could always tell they were men, you know, because they wore the robes and everything. But
Okay.
you could see by
Interesting.
the feet that they were men.
Oh, but they were supposed to look as like women. Is that
No,
how
they
it-
weren't.
No, they were just that's how
Belly
it is.
dances in the village were often
Interesting.
performed by men.
Okay.
I worked in Yugoslavia. I sang folk songs in Yugoslavia.
Okay. Beautiful.
Anyway, I kind of worked across Europe and then spent 2 years hitchhiking.
Hitchhiking.
in those days. Yeah,
Okay.
great
Yeah.
experience. Then decided for some reason I was still attracted to the Chinese.
Okay.
So I decided, I still need to see China. But China, of course, was going through the throes of the revolution.
Okay.
Taiwan had a better educational program.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought it was a more peaceful country,
Okay.
so to say.
Okay.
So I decided to come to Taiwan.
Okay.
And I talked to the dean of law school at UCLA and said, I'd like to study a year in Taiwan, comparative law.
Okay.
He said, okay. I mean, it was after many discussions. So I was actually on a year's scholarship to study
Wow.
1 year and then return to the States Law School.
Okay.
4 years later, he said, and you are who?
That's funny.
When I went to see him.
I think that it's a pretty common story. People come for like 1 or 2 years, right? And then
Fall in
Taiwan
love.
is like magical, right?
Yeah.
What was the thing that made you kind of fall in love and be like, you know what, this is where I'm going to stay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, I started falling in love with the antiques. That started me.
Yeah.
And I became a collector. And at that time, I knew the partner in Bywin, who has
Okay.
since passed, Howard Brewer. I think you
Howard,
know him.
of course. Howard.
Howie
yeah,
Wowie.
Yeah, yeah. Howie,
Basketball
guy,
player,
yeah.
guy's guy. He's the one who opened Bywin in 1975.
Didn't know that. Okay.
And I joined in 1976.
Okay. Wow.
So I opened the
nice.
showroom. We opened the showroom in 1976,
Mm-hmm.
but we also manufactured in China, Taiwan, for primarily the U.S. market. So we actually are an import-export company, and
Okay. Wow.
I don't know. The antiques were just, a love.
Yeah, for sure.
The business at that time was trade,
Okay.
manufacturing, mass producing for retailers in the States.
I mean, I think you've been collecting. When I came to set up the other day, they were mentioning that you have a warehouse full of
Yes.
wonderful items
We
available.
do.
Right?
And it's very unfortunate that so many people believe antiques are extremely expensive.
That's a very common thought for sure. Yeah.
In actual fact, they are not.
Okay.
If you
Okay.
were to buy today solid wood pieces of the same caliber of these, with the carvings, et cetera,
Yeah.
you would pay much more than the price for the antique.
So might
And
as
the
well
other
just get the
amazing-
antique.
Huh?
Might as well just get the original.
Well, the other thing about
Yeah.
the antiques is that, they have age to them. Some people fear them because they belong to someone at some time, but
Oh, interesting.
for instance, a chest or a dressing table, I mean, they were handed down from generation
like
to
superstition,
generation.
sort of. They feel. Oh.
Yeah, beds are the biggest problem because the Chinese don't like to sleep in a bed. They believe that, someone in the past had died in that bed.
Okay. Wow.
So they don't necessarily like to sleep in the bed,
Interesting.
but I do all the time.
I didn't know that. I sleep in a bed, and
Yeah.
I even bought it secondhand, I believe. So yeah,
bought it
we had
secondhand?
some off
Oh,
somebody
Eddy.
yeah, we're slumming. I think. Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
think it's good. I think we. Yeah, I don't know. The first time I came in here, actually, we were chatting about it earlier. Was when we were with Howie, when Howie had just left, right?
Yeah.
Just left. That was, I think, the first time I came in, and I didn't realize that there was so much stuff here. Really
2018.
cool place.
And this is just a small percentage
Okay.
because I changed the exhibition,
Okay.
or I should say we changed.
Sure. Okay.
Liv and I, we change the exhibition once every 2 months,
Okay.
approximately 2 months.
Okay.
Like this week, we'll be moving most of the posters. These are, by the way, early posters from the early Republic. They were advertising posters.
They're really
in the
cool,
Chinese
actually.
market. Yeah, they are.
I was looking at them earlier. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll be moving them out, and we'll be moving in textiles.
Okay.
We're having a textile exhibition with a cocktail, so people are invited.
Okay. Well,
Cocktail on Saturday, starting
Sounds
at
good.
5, the
Okay.
25th. Come,
okay.
Eddy.
Let's go. Yeah, that sounds good. Yes, for sure. I think
change.
I think one of the biggest questions is like, where would one find? I mean, aside from you already found them and brought them here, but where do you find kind of all of this amazing stuff that seems to almost be, some of it seems to be like lost in time? You wouldn't think that advertising posters would be available, but
Yeah.
you have them.
Yeah.
So how did you get them? Did you get them a long time ago, or I mean, tell me the
Most a
story.
long time ago. I
Okay.
started collecting in 1975.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
And I collected during the days when you could still find antiques, because to be honest, many of the pieces people advertise as antiques, sell as antiques, are not antiques.
Oh, so that's
They're
like
either reconstructed or they're reproduced. They're not antiques.
So there's fraud in the antique sort
And not
of as
necessarily
well,
fraud.
or-
I'd say some of the dealers, I would say that some of the dealers do know they have reproductions.
Okay.
So they're kind of misrepresenting themselves,
my.
whereas others have been taken by the dealers in China.
Okay.
If they're buying in China, the dealers will say, "Oh yeah, antique, yeah."
It's from the
I have
Qing
a
dynasty.
collection. I just finished
Uh-huh.
actually exhibiting that collection. I still have a few pieces.
Yeah.
The bowl right there.
Okay. Okay.
These were sold. This friend of mine lived in China, in Shanghai. He worked for his father for many years, and we're talking 30 years ago.
Yep.
He bought, well, he could open his own showroom of
Okay.
porcelains.
Okay.
He bought a ton of porcelains, all of which have imperial marks, are supposed to be of the period.
Beautiful.
They are not.
They're
I
not.
mean, they are
Okay.
early republic to
Okay.
Cultural Revolution.
Okay. Okay.
So unfortunately, he was kind of ripped off.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, how are there many people that are able to differentiate these?
I don't think so.
Probably not, right?
I don't
Okay.
think so. I think a
Yeah.
lot of our supposed experts are very young. I don't think they have the experience, and not of the people of the old days.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
The Julian Thompsons of Sotheby's. I used to love it when he came to Taiwan.
Okay. Okay.
At that time, you
Oh,
probably don't know, there was a
tell
potter,
me about that. Yeah.
Xiao Fang.
Okay.
The owner was Sai Xiao Fang. He just recently passed away 2 weeks ago, as a matter of fact.
Oh wow.
He
Rest in
was
peace.
a chemical engineer.
Okay.
He developed glazes in the 70s, and
Okay.
I first knew him in the 70s and 80s. Actually, we were his first exporter
Okay.
from Taiwan to the American market.
Okay.
And all over, actually. We shipped to Hong Kong, everywhere. I used to have so much fun because Sotheby's would come to Taiwan. They were so curious about
That's
his
cool.
porcelains.
Yeah.
And they would come, and I would take them to Sai Xiaofeng. And then periodically, I'd take pieces over to Hong Kong when Julian was in town, or Peter Malone. I was very close to Peter Malone. What do you guys think? I think these are Chinese. I mean, Qing Dynasty, no? And they kind of look, and they would be afraid because they
Yeah.
knew that I also was very close to Sai Xiaofeng.
Okay.
Well, Julian would say with his very British accent, I don't know, Faye. I think maybe, could this be reproduction by Xiaofeng? With a very British accent. I used to laugh so hard.
Love it.
So I'd take pieces over to Hong Kong periodically, or they'd come to Taiwan.
Okay.
And they're just, I don't know, I got off track, Eddie. I'm off track.
No,
now.
that's the whole point of this stuff.
That's
Yeah,
the whole
yeah,
point?
Yeah, of
Oh, I
course.
could
Yeah,
get
yeah,
off
yeah.
track all the time, honey.
Off track is good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Then I don't have to keep coming up and be, oh, this is a great conversation. I love it. Yeah.
Anyway, I love
Okay.
to travel and
yeah.
traveled quite often. I spent a lot of time in China up until actually 4 or 5 years ago when COVID hit.
Yeah.
But in the early days, I mean, we have an office in China.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Is a lot of the stuff from China? I mean, I would think so. I have no idea though.
Yes.
Okay.
When I first started buying in the 70s, late
Okay.
70s, 80s,
Okay.
there were still antiques available. And I traveled all over China. So I bought in Shanghai and Beijing and Dongguan, really all over.
Okay. Wow.
But then I also, wherever I traveled, I bought.
okay. Okay.
Tibet.
Yes.
Now, I didn't travel Tibet, but I bought
very
these
nice.
from a dealer in
Okay.
Beijing long, long ago. Burma. I did travel to Burma quite a
Okay.
bit. And I'm madly in love with Burmese Buddhas.
Okay.
I love their faces. They call them child Buddhas.
I saw you have some over here, right?
I do.
Okay.
I have from Burma, Laos. I didn't collect many Chinese Buddhas. I thought the faces were too stern.
Okay. Okay.
So I really, because I'm Buddhist,
oh, didn't
or
know that.
became Buddhist,
Okay.
I want a friendly Buddha. I don't want
Okay.
one who's going to punish me.
I understand.
So-
I understand. We all. Okay. Okay.
But in actual fact, Burmese Buddhas now are difficult to come by because of Burma, the political situation in Burma.
I know a little bit about that. Not
Myanmar.
Not enough. Not,
Yeah,
not
Myanmar.
enough. Yeah. Yeah. We actually have a few staff from there recently. Yeah. Yeah. Good kids. Good
Really?
Kids. Yeah. Yeah. Good kids
Cool.
for sure. Yeah. Yeah. So
So Japan, I bought in Japan, all over. Thailand, Japan, Burma, Cambodia, a little bit even out of the Philippines.
okay.
You name it.
So when you're traveling, do you kind of base your trip around? I want to go like treasure hunting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So how do you plan a trip like that? Tell me about
But
that.
but
Yeah.
not as much now because I have too much inventory.
Understand.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
an old lady now, and I can't afford to hold all this inventory forever and ever. So
Okay.
I've kind of stopped purchasing over the last 2 years, 3 years.
Okay.
Since COVID, actually, because our business has slowed down as a result. People didn't come into the showroom,
Understand.
so
yeah.
business was poor. It's starting again now.
Okay.
A lot of Westerners left after COVID. A lot have moved out, and I
No.
would say that my clients are primarily Western.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, do you think that the Taiwanese, I mean, how when they come in here, how do they feel?
I think the Taiwanese feel intimidated by me, which is why I need someone like Liv.
I understand. Okay. Okay.
First of all, they're afraid I don't speak the language.
Okay.
So many times, if I'm with someone, a Taiwanese, they'll talk to that person, and I'll respond. I'll say, you know, I speak Chinese.
Yeah.
And they'll say, well, tell her.
Yeah.
So they won't talk to me directly.
Yeah. I love it. I get that
Secondly, they're afraid to negotiate price.
too. Really? They're
Oh
afraid
yeah.
to.
Oh yeah. They
Okay,
feel much more
interesting.
comfortable with the Taiwanese negotiating price.
with Taiwanese.
And I'm kind of tough too.
You're tough. You are definitely
I mean,
tough.
well,
You're tough. You're
I mark
tough.
the prices on the pieces. I'm not an idiot. I know the prices, the average prices in the market
Gotcha.
for this quality of item. And our prices are very reasonable.
I was going to say, actually, when I came in and I was looking at stuff and checking the prices, I thought, oh, like you were saying in the beginning, people think antiques are really expensive.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I don't want to touch anything because I don't know anything about it. So it's pretty cool, enlightening.
No, in actual
conversation.
fact, they aren't.
Okay.
In actual fact, elsewhere in the world, they might be.
Okay.
But certainly, I think our prices are very competitive with modern furniture, if you want, of solid wood.
Yeah, for
If
sure.
you're into IKEA and MDF or plywood, that's a different story.
Well, right now, I think, I don't know if there's a wood shortage or whatever, but I know that the wood prices right now are really high, right?
They're very, very high.
Yeah, I'm, getting some small little things made that I need to get done. And yeah, the wood price is just astronomical. Yeah, especially,
You should come to us.
Coming from Canada.
I have a treasure. I have a treasure
I know,
from China.
I didn't
Mr.
know
Chen.
that. But I did not
My
know
carpenter.
that the prices were so good here, to be honest. Cause
No, but we also
Yeah.
make for people.
you make.
Yeah,
Oh,
if you
really?
need parts or whatever made, we do that for people. We restore for people. I've
Interesting,
actually had
okay.
people come in, though, with their damaged MDF furniture from IKEA.
That's what do
Can
you
you
say?
repair this for us? I said, you know what?
That's
It's not worth your while.
yeah.
You don't want to repair. Go out
That's-
and buy another one.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about the IKEA stuff is, you buy.
They might sue us. Will they sue us?
Yeah, well, no, they won't
for
sue us.
misrepresenting
No, I
them?
think so. No, no. Sometimes, like I'm not a very handy person, so I can put IKEA things together, and then if when we move house, and I need to take it apart, and then I got to put it back together in the new house, it never fits right, and then it just becomes a wobbly mess, and then it ends up getting tossed. Honestly,
So that's when you
It's
should
tough.
come and look into antiques.
Yes, I did not know. I did not know, honestly, like you were saying.
I'll
I
take you to
didn't
the
know that.
Bali warehouse.
Okay, well, actually, we could do some videos. And
We
stuff.
should have a
It'd be
tour.
nice.
You should
I would love to
talk
do
to
that.
some of your friends.
Yeah.
And we'll take them on a tour of the Bali warehouse. We're going to start doing that.
Actually, speaking of things like that, I think that you're quite involved with like the community. I know that, but then
Community
the center
Services Center.
and the
Yes.
center, right? So tell me about how you got kind of involved with them. I see that your name on the wall over there, which is really cool, right?
Well, I've
buying
supported
wood.
them for many years. They
I-
started 35 years ago.
Yeah. Well, tell me.
And,
a
and
little-
I remember very clearly
Mm-hmm.
the cause. 3 American kids.
Okay.
One was Canadian, 2 Americans.
Okay.
TAS, high schoolers.
Okay.
At one time, I don't know, do you know Taster's Choice?
The coffee.
The bakery? Yeah,
Okay.
the coffee
the
shop.
tasters. Oh yes, sure.
Just
sure.
before you hit TAS. At
Okay,
that
yeah, I
time,
know it.
TAS was the BOTs. It was U.S. Army.
So that cheesecake place is
Oh, no, it
pretty
wasn't.
fam-
Oh,
Oh, that's okay. No problem. You're good. You're good. That's
TAS had already been built, I remember.
Okay, gotcha.
Before it was the BOT.
Okay.
Anyway, there used to be a pharmacy in that area, Lucky's. I still remember.
Lucky's,
He
ah.
sold drugs to these kids.
Like
And
drugs,
they were
drugs.
drugged out, and I can't tell you what drug. I don't remember. They were hires, uppers. What are they called? Uppers? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know much about the drug.
But anyway,
trade.
they were on drugs and listening to hard rock music.
Okay, well.
And either one or two of them accidentally killed the other, hit him over the head with
Oh.
a baseball bat.
Really?
I always thought it was a rock, but I was told recently by the director of the center, Adam
Okay.
McMillan,
I do know Adam. Yeah.
that no, a baseball bat.
Oh, I didn't.
And so, yeah, the Western at that time we had a lot of expats. They were
Mm-hmm.
very upset. They didn't speak Chinese.
Yeah.
Not many of the Taiwanese spoke English. So they were very upset, and they realized that we needed an organization or someone to help these kids who were having issues,
Yes.
whether it be with drugs or depression or whatever.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
so a group,
Wow.
AIT, the American Institute, if I remember correctly, TAS, and a group of other companies, parents got together and formed the Community Services Center,
Really?
whose prime
okay.
focus at that time was psychological
Okay. Okay.
assistance.
I've had Adam on the podcast before. He told me a little bit about that for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
If a person feels suicidal, there is an emergency line,
Okay.
and they can call that line, and someone will answer.
Okay. And so
and
how
put
did
them in
you
contact.
get involved kind of with like, let's support this place, let's support the center?
Well, at that time, there were no others, especially among the Westerners. And I knew the people. I've always been involved, and every year, I actually started with them when they first started their auctions. Byron was a supporter of the auctions, so we would
Yes.
supply items to them.
Uh-huh.
Many of
Yeah.
them free of charge, some I'd charge for,
Yeah, yeah.
just to support the company.
No, you have to, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah. You have to.
And then ever since, I mean, I've known the previous directors and gone on forever and ever.
Okay.
We've
Wow.
done too many.
Wow. So how I don't even know what to, yeah, the center has been such a really cool thing with I think they're doing monthly sort of
Oh, they have all
the
kinds of
coffee
activities.
There's so much stuff going
They
on
have
over
coffee
there. Yeah.
mornings.
Yeah, the
they
coffee.
have
Yeah, that's what I was
lectures. We have one coming up. Nancy Baldwin. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Hey, that's I believe the end of the month, right?
End of the month. End of the
Yeah.
month, and she's going to be talking about the book she wrote
Yeah,
on her
yeah.
childhood.
Awesome.
I'm
Awesome.
not going to give away too many secrets.
Okay.
But
Cool.
anyway, yeah, they do a lot of interesting things, and not only with the expats. At one time, it was primarily for the expats,
Mm-hmm.
but now we have the Taiwanese involved, and many of the people on the staff
Yep.
speak Taiwanese
Sure.
or Mandarin.
Yep.
And so it's really open to the community. That's why it's called the Community Center.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
open to the community, including the Taiwanese
That's
and
I-
Westerners from all over the world.
I think it's wonderful, and I also just want to mention a couple more things about this place. The stuff in here is almost like a museum. Like when I come in here, it feels like a museum. Like
Really? Okay.
because
Do you think I'm competing with the National Palace?
No, that's what I'm saying. That was what was the word gugong? I think it's called, right?
Yeah.
And like whenever we come here, people always want to go to the National Palace, right?
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It's a nice place. They've got really cool stuff. But I feel like your place has a similar vibe, but you can actually buy the stuff, and you can
What do you buy?
actually
You can
touch the
touch.
stuff. You can touch.
can touch.
Which is amazing, right?
Well, we're not selling imperial pieces.
No, of course, but I mean, it's just kind of like I don't know, it's a similar vibe, and it's really cool, and I think that more people should know about it. So I'm happy to
They
be here.
should.
Yeah, they should know.
Shouldn't
yeah.
we? Should get more Taiwanese interested.
Yeah.
We're starting to get more Taiwanese.
Have you done something to kind of be like, let's get the Taiwanese in? Is there any?
Well,
anything-
Liv would be better at that. Mm-hmm. We're doing Facebook and
Yeah.
what
All the
else?
social
Instagram.
stuff.
We're
Yep.
translating into Chinese, right?
Yeah. And I think
I'm not following well enough, as you can see.
Yeah, I think that I think all of these pieces have a story behind them.
They
right?
do.
And I think that you should have some kind of a YouTube channel or something where you can kind of introduce the pieces, because I'm thinking that not everybody knows the story behind every little intricate piece here.
That
As
could
a
be
business
interesting.
owner,
YouTube. What do you
right?
think of that, Liv?
Yeah.
YouTube?
Yeah, I think it would be good because YouTube, they show different people things, right? Like YouTube is a kind of a different platform where they actually show different people. You can make little clips also for like TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. But I think that YouTube would be good because YouTube kind of shows more people, and then
Okay.
if they like it, then it kind of spreads and stuff. Yeah.
I think I'll put you in charge.
You want you want me to run your YouTube channel? We can do that, sure.
Yeah,
We
cool.
can do something for YouTube.
I can't.
Sure.
I'm an idiot with computers.
It's not. To be honest, all of this
Electronics,
stuff.
I
It's
should
not.
say.
It's not that hard. It's just if you really like something, then like yourself with the antiques. Like I look at everything and I'm a little scared to touch anything. But then I come in here and the prices are actually fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's surprising. Because I was always, like I said, worried about the prices of antiques. So didn't want to touch.
It's a misleading
Yeah, for sure.
situation. It really is misleading.
Yeah, I think it's great. So I think we're gonna have to start your channel pretty soon here. Yeah,
And that's a good idea. Let's do it.
let's do it. Yeah. So do
I
you
hear a
have,
dog scratching.
Is that what that? That's funny.
Yeah, that's Frida. I'm also very much into animal welfare.
Yes,
As you well know.
Of course. So tell me about, the
So-
animals and the pack and all that stuff.
Well, I work with the pack now. I started with Animals Taiwan long ago.
Yeah.
That was way back in 2008. But I have my own little rescue center, but it's primarily of handicapped dogs.
I understand. Uh-huh.
So I take in two-legged, three-legged.
Gotcha.
This one is very old. She was a puppy mill dog. Can you bring Frida over?
A puppy mill dog. Okay.
She was a puppy mill dog, abandoned on the streets of Pingdong.
Oh, wow.
She's a poodle, so she was used for breeding.
Okay. Okay.
And when she reached an age she could no longer breed, they just dumped her on the streets.
Ooh,
But she
tough.
was a very unhealthy dog. They didn't take very good care of her. So she has no fur on her chest. She has
Gotcha.
terrible teeth, terrible heart, semi-blind.
Gotcha.
But she's a cutie.
Yeah, dogs.
And she definitely likes the antiques. You see, she's scratching up the pillow
There you go.
in anticipation.
We love animals and dogs and stuff, so we try to donate as well. We would love to have a dog, but we don't have much time. The dog would end up being at home alone most of the time, which is not good.
Frida, come here,
Hey,
girl.
there you go. All right, very cute.
We
But,
had to remove her eyes, so that's why she doesn't have any fur on her right leg.
Gotcha. Do you feel like it's changed, like in Taiwan? So let's say 20 years ago, when I came here 20 years ago, there were a lot of stray dogs everywhere, right? And now, not really. I mean, there are, but not really. So what do you think
I think
contributed to that?
I think it definitely has changed.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there are many, especially among the Westerners, who are accustomed to animal welfare in their own countries, and that's existed for well over 100 years.
Yes.
In
okay.
Taiwan, when I first came in the 1970s, there was no such thing as animal welfare.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, the Taiwanese were not terribly interested and not at all interested. They didn't really understand spading,
yeah.
neutering,
Yep.
nor did they care. And many of them were Buddhists, so that's another problem because the Buddhists don't believe in
Oh, I didn't.
in neutering.
Okay.
Neutering. So that was a problem.
That's a big piece that I did not know. Okay.
I'll never forget actually. I took in, of course, the strays. They would come to the office.
Yeah.
We were at that time we were on another street in Tianmu,
Okay.
728, right across from the Dandy Hotel.
Okay.
Actually,
yeah.
in Tianmu,
I know it. Yeah.
and actually one of those houses was our trade office.
Really?
The
Okay.
only house remaining. The other two were torn down, and they built a building there.
Okay. Okay.
But right across from the Dandy Hotel. And I used to feed the strays. Mm-hmm. And I remember one time, one of my strays got taken by the dog catcher.
Okay.
And so I asked around, found out where the pound was.
Yeah, with the pound. Okay.
Yeah. And I remember going there, trying to find Doggett. Her name was Doggett. Trying to find Doggett, and she was in a cage with just an absolute large number of dogs, all brown, because they categorized them according to the color.
Just a
At
brown
that time, they
dog,
were eating
okay.
dog meat.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So black, white, brown, they were all separated.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay.
And I
Yeah.
remember going in to try to get Doggett out. I saw her. I recognized her. I said, Doggett. And I explained to the men there, this is my dog. And they said, well, if it's your dog, why isn't the dog coming to you? I said, because the dog is very frightened, and I need to take her home. I want my dog.
Okay. That's wow.
And I finally
Okay.
got her out. But, man, that was a totally different situation. But I think in a very short period of time, and I really support the government. I mean, they have a long ways to go.
Sure.
long
of
ways.
course.
But I think they've made enormous progress.
I think so. Like I said before, about 20 years ago when I came, if I'd go for a walk, for a jog in the park, every park would have like, its own group of
Stray
of
dogs.
stray dogs everywhere, and it
Yeah.
was kind of normal. And I love dogs, and they're really cute. But you have to be careful when there's a bunch of them.
When
and-
they're a group,
and you're
yeah, they
going-
could be
when you're going-
dangerous.
when you're going through their turf, you kind of have to be like, okay, take it easy,
They're protective.
Yeah, protect. It's their
Yeah.
turf, right? And then now, occasionally we would see a stray dog, but not really.
Not as often.
Not as
They
often.
still dump them up on Yangmingshan.
Oh, that's okay.
And I
Okay.
still, actually, 4 or 5 months ago,
Okay.
although I understand from my neighbor that he wasn't dumped, or that she wasn't dumped,
Okay.
I was driving home and an enormous, a very large Russian Mastiff was lying in the middle of the street.
Okay.
And the truck in front of me almost hit her.
Ooh,
And he drove around her, drove by,
okay.
and then I stopped my car.
that's tough.
This dog was starving to death. She was
Oh.
a Russian Mastiff. I thought she'd been dumped. She
Okay.
has a white mark around her muzzle, which tells me that she was muzzled for many years, or a long time.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, she's had so many problems. My vet said, this is going to be your most expensive dog yet.
Oh shoot. Okay. Okay. Wow.
So they still dump them on Yangmingshan, especially the big guys. And so I take in the large dogs as well.
Is it? I think it's. You don't see very many large dogs here, right?
No, they buy them. They buy them as puppies.
Okay.
There are still those who buy these cute little puppies
And when they get
look
too
like little
big,
teddy
they dump
bears
'em. Oh.
without realizing that these dogs, a Mastiff,
Yeah, I
It's
was
a
going to
large
say
dog.
that's a massive dog. Yeah, like we went back to Canada last summer, and I almost forgot. In Canada, Canada's massive, right? Canada, everybody has a dog, and most of the dogs are big dogs because everyone has their yard. Everyone's going
Yep.
for those hour-long walks that the
Right.
big dogs need. And I forgot how massive the dogs could be. Just man, these are huge. Yeah,
Yeah.
like Great Danes and stuff like that all over the place. And I thought,
Yep.
wow, these are like on their paws 7 feet, tall. These are
Oh, yeah.
massive dogs. It's crazy.
well, I have
'Cause
2
here-
Russian Mastiffs, yeah, and 2
Wow.
Russian Mastiffs and a Tibetan Mastiff.
So you must have you have a farm or where
I have
are
a
these
large yard.
dogs? You have
I have a large
house.
yard. I have a
Okay,
large
okay.
yard.
And the
I
dogs
chose the house specifically because of the yard.
and the dogs are friendly. Do they
They're very friendly.
like when you throw
People
them
are
in
afraid.
together of them? I mean,
Yeah. No, they live
there-
together.
is
They
there
come
some
in
way
every
that-
night. They stay in my house. Sometimes they fight. I have kind of a mentally handicapped retriever
Okay.
that I was
okay.
only supposed to foster for 2 months a year and a half ago.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mom disappeared.
Okay. Yeah. Oh.
And Hermes is a bit retarded.
Okay, okay,
But
okay.
Other than that,
Yeah.
and I have a German Shepherd as well who's kind of retarded.
Okay. Okay.
She was picked off up the street. She was abandoned, and she has some mental issues as well. But other than that, I mean, and they're all friendly with one another.
Is there a secret when you get a new dog, when you save a new dog and you kind of bring them and put them in with the 10 or 15 other dogs? Is there like a trick that, how do they welcome them in? I would
Let's
imagine
say that I
it's
check
tough.
them out very carefully before I put them all together.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I keep
Okay.
my handicapped dogs in front, and the big dogs are in back,
Okay.
normally during the day,
Okay.
except for a few, like Lady Gigi,
Okay.
the Tibetan Mastiff.
Okay.
For some reason, the dogs don't like her, so they pick on her.
Oh, okay.
And she's the largest of all
And
my
she's the
dogs.
biggest. Okay.
And Lady
okay.
Gigi she's my sweetheart.
Okay.
So I keep her, she usually stays in the house.
That's funny.
She will
Okay.
stay in the house.
She gets the
She
the lady
sleeps in my
treatment.
bedroom at night. Actually, I
Okay.
get about 8 or 9 of the dogs who sleep in my bedroom.
Wow.
They
oh
all
my
come
gosh.
in.
That's so cool.
Sometimes I fight over the bed.
Okay.
they
That's a
they
big
all want to
bed.
go on the bed.
That's got to be a massive bed. That's got to
It's
be a
not.
massive. It's
It's a
not.
small-
Okay. Okay.
You belong to my great grandmother, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
You were mentioning this table earlier as well.
This table
right?
belonged to my grandmother.
Okay. Well, tell me. I mean, how did this get here?
This is American. Well,
Okay.
I remember this as a child.
Okay, that's awesome.
My grandmother
Yeah.
bought it in the early 1900s.
Okay. Wow,
And I
quality.
remember seeing it in her living room as a child when I was growing up. And it has a marble top. It's hand painted, burl sides, brass. It has everything going on for it. It might very well be a designer table, to be honest. I've never looked at the base to see whether there's a name on it.
Okay. Okay.
And I should.
Okay.
But it's just such a unique piece. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Yeah. Yeah.
And after my mom passed away, I mean, we didn't know what to do with all the furniture because my grandparents were collectors. Actually, perhaps my first interest in antiques was due to my
I
grandparents.
was gonna say that's got to
Growing
be
up.
some kind of a big influence then.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, like a lot
Okay.
of these wood carvings were purchased by my grandfather.
Oh.
They traveled the world. He founded a kiln in the 1930s called Vernon Kilns. They're
Okay.
now collectible.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And
okay.
so we grew up with that.
Okay.
But then once he He'd made enough money, I suppose. He got old enough. He started traveling. His
Okay.
mother had traveled.
Okay.
She had traveled to China in the early 1900s.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
well,
it's
there you
amazing.
go.
Anyway, so
No,
maybe
that
that's
makes
where I got my
sense.
adventurous
That
spirit.
makes sense now. Okay, because oh, it's good.
Are we good?
No, yeah, it's good. She's good. She's. We have a rabbit at home, so maybe she smells the rabbit on there
Oh,
somehow.
okay. Miko? Uh-oh. Is that
That's okay.
Frida or Miko? The poodle?
The poodle. Yeah, yeah. No, it's
Okay,
fine.
well, it
She's
might be
fine.
because she's
okay.
blind. We better
Okay.
move her.
No, she's okay. I don't think she's. I
Frida.
think she's okay. That's funny. So back to the antiques one more
Okay,
time.
so the antiques.
Yes. So have you noticed sort of more of an appreciation for Taiwanese antiques from the locals or expats or?
Do you know I have a
both?
serious problem there, and that's a project I'm working on.
Okay, well, tell me.
The
Tell me about it.
Taiwanese, you can go into all these antique homes, the
Yeah.
Lin House, the Gu House in Lugang,
Yes, I've been there. Yeah.
and in most of these homes, they're not showing antique Taiwanese. No one, I think there are a few wealthy collectors, but they have their private collection. No one ever sees it. And I am now trying to find either a museum
Okay.
or a wealthy collector
Okay.
who has an old home like the Lin House.
Yes.
So we're not seeing furniture from the 1950s,
Okay.
but furniture of the period.
Okay.
Most
okay.
Taiwanese don't understand their own furniture.
Okay.
And Taiwanese furniture was beautifully made.
Okay.
The Taiwanese left, at the fall of the Ming Dynasty. They came to Taiwan. Many acquired wealth, especially in the Lugang area
Okay.
during the Qing Dynasty.
Okay.
They might have brought carpenters over from China
Okay.
to build their furniture, but they also had local carpenters in the Lugang area primarily.
Okay.
The Japanese came and highly influenced the Taiwanese. They
That's-
developed yet another style. If you look at the chest over here to your left, you see the spindle legs, the drawers down the side. No, a chest of drawers right there.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking for a treasure chest. Okay. Yes.
No, not a treasure chest.
Yeah.
This is a
Yeah.
chest.
Okay.
The Chinese rarely used chests of drawers. That was something introduced by the Japanese.
Okay. Oh.
Probably because they had primarily paper rooms, paper houses. They caught easily on fire.
Okay.
So they developed a drawered chest with handles on the side called a tanzu.
Okay.
When they had fires, they'd take the whole thing and just pull it out of the house.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Paper
Whereas
houses.
the Chinese stacked. You look at all these cabinets that I have around here. Some are book cabinets, but many are also clothing cabinets, garment
Okay.
cabinets.
Okay. Yeah.
So they folded and stacked
Okay.
their clothing. And
Okay.
they developed their own style. The Taiwanese developed their own style based on their homes, based on their interests.
Yeah.
And very few of those today understand that style.
Okay.
They all want to buy mainland Chinese. They think
Really?
Taiwanese woods are softer woods. No. Qing Dynasty Taiwanese woods were hard. The chair you're sitting, oh, that's rosewood. The
This is-
chair you
yeah.
were sitting
That
on,
chair was awesome.
that was
Yeah.
of Jiadong wood. Jiadong, which is local wood, an indigenous
Okay.
wood to Taiwan, but
Okay.
a hardwood.
Okay.
With wuxing shi, it's another wood type,
Okay.
inlaid in the seat. They were beautifully made.
Yeah.
And so were their furniture pieces. So I'm bound and determined before I pass on to another century, I'm going to find someone interested who will help me to build a permanent exhibition of Taiwanese
Really.
furniture.
That's amazing.
Taiwanese artifacts before I sell them all out.
Okay.
Because
yeah.
I have a very good collection as well at my house.
Okay.
And
Ooh, maybe we can find somebody that.
I
wants to-
hope.
Yeah.
and the problem I have, for instance, I visited the Gu Foundation. They came to see me
Okay.
from Lugang, but they want everything to be given to them.
Yeah, that's tough.
That can't happen. I can give some, but I can't
Yeah.
give all.
Yeah,
some
that's
belong
tough.
to the company or some belong to collectors.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to accumulate a really good collection for them.
Yeah.
And they say, well, people give to us. Well, I kind of have an idea of what people give to them.
I understand. Yeah.
Not
yeah,
good.
Yeah. Yeah. well,
Not good. What people
well,
would give to you is
common
not
sense
good.
would say, yeah, giving away. Yeah, it's not.
They give away their junk.
Yeah, you're not giving the best stuff away
No.
for sure.
And I
Yeah.
want to take some of the best pieces. I want them to
Yeah, of
see. I want the
course.
Taiwanese to see and appreciate. Taiwan's
Okay.
becoming well known in the world today. At one time, they were always
Yeah.
confused with Thailand. Oh, have you been to Bangkok?
I actually, when I came here, my mom, I think, thought I was in in Japan and my dad thought I was in Thailand, or vice versa. I think my mom called me. There was this tsunami in Japan. I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or something. There was a big tsunami.
I remember that. Yeah.
I can't remember how long. It was a while ago. I can't remember how long ago. And my mom doesn't watch the news. She's kind of like in her own world, right? And so about a month after that, she calls me. My family's Mexican, right? She's like, "Hi, mijo, are you okay?" And I'm just like, "What? What are you talking about?" And she's like, "I just saw the news." I'm like, "Well, what news?" And she's like, "Oh, the tsunami. Are you okay?" And I'm like, first of all, it's like a month ago. Second of all, that's a completely different country. So I'm fine.
That
Thank
is
you.
so funny.
But my mom was like, "What? Yeah. It was, yeah." So my mom, Japan, dad, Thailand, definitely.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
now Taiwan's becoming a
Yeah.
known place.
It's a known place. And I believe that they just inaugurated the new president
Today.
right?
I heard part of his
Yeah.
speech.
Yeah,
Cool.
did you? That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love Taiwan. I've been here for a long time. Not as long as you, obviously. You were the original Waigoran from Tianmu, probably, right? Like you're the best, I believe.
Yeah, one of
Everybody
the
knows
originals
you.
from Tianmu when I think about it.
Yeah.
When I first came, the armed forces were here, U.S.
That's
Armed
amazing.
Forces.
I love that.
Chiang Kai-shek was still living. So was Mao Zedong.
Really?
I remember there was a big contest going on between the two of them. At that time I was a water safety instructor trainer.
Okay.
So I trained the Taiwanese Red Cross
Okay.
water safety programs.
Okay.
And I also worked for the American Red Cross
Okay.
as a
Wow. Mm-hmm.
volunteer, but I was in charge of their water safety programs. And so I was allowed to go into the armed forces, what we called the PX at that time.
Okay.
And I remember because Taiwan really censored all written materials coming into the island. I remember if you brought in an encyclopedia and it had the M volume for Mao Zedong,
Oh, okay.
taken away.
It was gone.
It
Ooh.
was taken away. It was gone. But at the PX, they didn't have those controls.
Okay.
And
Wow.
I don't know, you were probably too young at that time. You might not have even been born. But at that time, there was a famous photo of Mao Zedong's head floating on top of the Yangtze River.
No, I definitely don't remember
And that
that.
was probably the first time or one of the first Photoshop attempts.
Okay. Okay.
When people were claiming that, or the rumor was going around that Mao had died
That he died.
because he was very ill.
Okay.
And so the mainland Chinese published this photo of the head floating on the Yangtze River. No, he's still very alive and active and blah, 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 blah.
That's so funny.
I was teaching legal English at that time for one of the leading law firms in Taiwan. So I would take these news magazines to show them because we were practicing legal
Sure.
English.
Of course. Yeah.
They had never seen a photo of Mao before.
Really?
This is the first time they actually saw the photo of Mao.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing. But anyway, that's another story.
That's so you're yeah. Well, you've got some good ones here.
Yeah.
But a couple more things I want to mention.
Yeah.
You were talking about an event. We're going to start doing some events here, right?
Yes.
We're going to set up like a coffee machine, right?
I want to set up a coffee
what's the
machine,
plan
and
for
people
here?
need to come and
People-
enjoy themselves.
I believe that, especially right now, coffee shops are so popular in Taiwan, right? But none have a vibe like this. I mean,
Yeah,
there
can
are
you
some cool
imagine?
ones out there, but they're not like this. Is I don't know. I think that a little coffee machine, some coffee.
Get yourself a
vibes.
cup of coffee, cup
Yeah.
of tea, maybe some wine sometimes, but
Yeah.
only at night.
Yeah.
Wine, and you can sit at the tables, we can chat. I mean, I think it's a great concept.
Yeah, I think so, and I think I don't know. There's so many cool things here that I don't even know where to start on them. Honestly, they're beautiful. And
Well, you'll be the first to come.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's
We
do
have to
it.
decide on our final coffee. That's my only problem.
Yeah. Well, coffee, no problem. We'll set up something.
I've got
for
the
coffee.
shop. I just don't have the coffee.
Yeah. Well, exactly. We can work that out.
Okay.
For sure. That's not a problem at all. But is there any like message that you want to share to maybe like the community, maybe the Tianmu community or Taiwan as a whole? That's like
Taiwan
come
in
and check us out,
general,
man.
please
Yeah.
come. Please come to the showroom. And we can take people, as I said before, to the warehouse.
Yeah.
And for the Taiwanese, I think it's time you learn more about your antique furniture.
Mm-hmm.
And I will have one of the art treasures of Taiwan. My carpenter has been with me for over 40 years.
Wow.
He's 82 years old from Lugong,
Okay.
and he still works for Baiwan only twice a week. He keeps
Okay.
threatening to retire, but I've told him, you can't retire, Mr. Chun, till I retire.
Oh, you were just on the
This
phone
man
with him.
is so amazing.
Okay, okay.
He is so absolutely amazing. He can take any piece of wood and turn it into a miraculous.
I didn't know that you could still do stuff like you could build. You had a builder there that was.
He's not a builder.
Yeah,
he's
like,
a
I mean,
carpenter. He's
like
an
a-
expert.
okay,
He's
like,
using
yeah.
tools used
Yeah.
by his grandfather.
Oh wow.
He
That's
does.
very cool. Okay.
He's a carpenter. You can't find him anymore.
Yeah, no, for
That's
sure.
one of my big worries, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
He's restored most of the pieces, and before I had a lot more carpenters and painters before
Sure.
COVID and before business kind of died. I'm
Yeah.
hoping it will pick up again, though.
It will. Well, COVID was kind of a weird situation, right? I think
Yeah.
everybody's business. I mean, everybody's took a beating, right? Like,
We
I
all
think,
did.
Yeah, I think it was 4 months of no dine-in for the
Oh, yeah.
restaurant.
I think
and
more
that
than 4
was
months.
maybe more. It felt like an eternity for sure.
It did.
It was at least 4, maybe longer, and it was rough because nobody's coming in, and you've still got this big space to take care of, and you still have all your staff who's awesome. So for us, we actually kept all of our staff and our kind of all the savings from the beginning that were actually doing quite well at that time, just kind of like started to trickle away and go down, and we were just like, shoot. And the government's like, yeah, 2 more weeks, 2 more weeks, 2 more weeks, and we were getting it to the point where like, oh my gosh, 2 more weeks, this is
Yeah.
tough. But
many
we were-
didn't survive.
And I was gonna say and despite all of that craziness, we were lucky to still survive because a lot of places didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
A lot of places closed.
A lot of the places that I some friends they didn't make it, and it's just crazy. It's tough because I don't want to get political, but definitely the government was saying, hey, we're going to take care of the small businesses, and then when you go in and you're going to fill out your thing at the bank, and they're like, oh, the fujuren is waiguren. Oh no.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a
And I was like,
Waiguren
oh,
or
awesome, thanks
Waigugunsa.
for
I have the
that.
same problem
Yeah, for sure.
because
right?
we're
yeah.
a Hong Kong company.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
And of course,
Yeah.
Hong Kong,
They're like,
that'll be the day when
exactly.
they lend you. China, Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry,
so
don't
for
want to be
us-
too political.
Yeah, no, same thing. But for us too, I mean, we're from here. Like, my wife is from here, and the business is, based here. But we were still like, oh no, the Fuji and no, sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? So
Yeah,
it was a
yeah.
bit
No, we had the same
disappointing.
problem. We tried to borrow money. It wasn't possible.
It was a bit disappointing for sure. Yeah,
It was.
but
But better off than Hong Kong. Hong Kong, much worse.
yeah, no, I get to see that. That was bad. Yeah. So let's quickly talk about the events that we're gonna do. You were saying there's one already set.
We have one coming up this Saturday.
This Saturday,
On the
okay.
25th.
Okay.
This showroom will be moved around. Everything
Yep.
will be removed from the walls, and we're doing a textile exhibition from
Okay.
Qing. Do you have one of the invitations?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you one, as a matter of fact. From the Qing Dynasty, Textiles Through the Ages.
Okay.
This is
Beautiful.
the opening
Oh,
cocktail.
yes, this is it. Nice. Okay.
So within the next 2 days, we'll be moving all this stuff in, moving out and putting other things in place.
Okay.
We've set up the furniture, but we're going to move in textiles.
Okay. And what's the plan? What are we doing? People are coming in.
They can come in
drinking
and
some
view, and they're for
wines.
sale.
Yeah. Okay.
And we've joint ventured with another showroom.
Okay.
And we buy one, has our own pieces. Yes, for the cocktail, we'll have wine. We'll have orange juice for those who don't drink wine.
Sure.
We should get some of your tacos or something.
Anytime
Not tacos,
you need anything.
tostadas. No,
we
what
can
can
do
we get?
anything like flautas or something where it's just like
Mini
finger food
flautas?
stuff. Yeah, we
Can
have
we
those.
do
Yeah,
some?
of course. Yeah, if you want, you let us know. Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, let us
By
know. Yeah,
Saturday?
mini flautas for sure. We can.
Let's
we can
do
get
it.
that done. Yeah, I got to talk to the boss, but it's doable.
Talk to
for
the
sure,
boss
yeah.
over there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I got to talk to my boss, but I think
Okay.
it's a good idea.
Okay, so anything, yeah, like I said, anytime you need anything from us, let us know. We're in.
Let's
and
go, because
we're in
everyone should go
Tianmu.
to Eddy's Cantina.
Come on down, please.
telling you.
Yes.
Nothing I love better than their not tacos. I love your, why can't I think of it?
The enchiladas,
The
nachos.
nachos.
The
I
nachos
love
are
the
super popular.
nachos.
Yes, for sure.
I love
But-
the chicken fajitas. I'm kind of a vegetarian, so I don't eat the beef.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
yeah.
recent or no?
No, long.
Been long. Okay. Interesting. Why did I forget that? Okay.
So
Do you
this Saturday,
have
don't
this Saturday?
forget.
Okay, definitely. We'll have this up very soon, and then we'll get it going for Saturday night. How can people find Bywin? People that are not aware, I will definitely share in the description below. I will share, the website and all that stuff.
We
for
do
sure.
have a website.
Facebook and stuff.
Centered Magazine advertises us.
Centered,
That's for the
okay.
Community Services
Yep.
Center.
Okay.
What other ways, Liv? Our Facebook.
And YouTube coming soon.
And
right?
if you Google us, actually, if you
Okay.
Google like tours coming in, we'll Google antique showrooms, you'll find us.
I actually Googled you and found this.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a good way. Yeah. So definitely, thank you.
Well, thanks for doing this.
My pleasure. I think
It's kind of exciting. I've never done a podcast.
Yeah, I
we were
think it's-
talking about doing them actually,
Well, I think
taking antiques and discussing them.
that's actually we could definitely do that, and I think that would go well for long form and then also some short form like you throw it on Instagram and stuff like that. And I think that,
Yeah, I like
that
it.
would be great. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
We'll
And
plan
I'd
it
never
out.
be capable of doing it myself.
No
I'd
problem.
need you, Eddie.
No problem. No problem. That's definitely doable.
We could
yes.
let Liv do it too, because
Yes,
she's
of
much more
course.
attractive than I am, for sure.
She's got. We were definitely gonna. We'll sort
She's
that out.
hiding there now.
She's
Why are you
in the
hiding?
back,
Liv,
yeah.
come here.
Want to come and say hi? Yeah. Oh, okay.
You coward. Why do you talk to me into these things and you won't do it?
Well,
不好，小姐. Okay,
you've been
truly
amazing.
enjoyed.
Thank you so much, and I think we're gonna do some more stuff in the future for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
definally.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Eddie.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
inviting me.
And
It
don't
was
forget
a great
to come.
experience.
Yeah, great. I'm sorry it took so long to set up because it's kind of when it's not in my place, I'm like, okay.
Oh
I gotta
yeah,
make
no,
sure,
you have to find the right place.
and I got to make sure I don't break anything. So I can break my own stuff.
Now
no
we
problem.
moved all the
Yeah.
valuable porcelains
Yeah.
off.
Exactly. Yeah. Awesome.
They're
Thank you
far
guys
away
for,
from you.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Faye, for being amazing.
Thank you,
And we'll
thank
see
you.
guys.
And come
next
to the
week.
showroom.
Yes.
Come see us, and if you want to set up an appointment for the warehouse, we can do that too.
Let's do it. Let's do some warehouse tours.
Definitely.
We'll sort that out. Yeah.
Well, I do have people that will go to the warehouse, like TAS. Every year they schedule a warehouse
Let's-
tour.
let's-
a lot
let's-
of women's groups.
Let's reach
They have
that.
fun.
Let's reach that out to. We can get locals, and we can. Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot
We
can
could
do,
have
yeah.
a Mexican
We
margarita party at the
can do that.
warehouse.
We can do whatever you want. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys
Thanks.
next week. Bye bye.
Bye. Are we definitely off?